Hello there. Ready for another show? Today I'm looking at Husker Du. Now is that pronounced Husker Du because of the double umlaut above the U's? They're from St. Paul, Minnesota, a very groovy half of the Twin Cities. Grant Hart, Greg Norton, Bob Mould, they began as a hardcore punk band in 1979. They evolved into alt rock back when that seemed like a good idea. They were signed to SST Records. They were once named Buddy and the Returnables. There was a fourth member then. He was a keyboardist named Charlie Pine, but he was ditched because he wasn't punk enough. The Husker Du name came from a mispronunciation of the Talking Heads song Psycho Killer. You know, the French part. It's supposed to be Qu'est-ce, but that sounded like they were saying Husker Du. Probably not real serious about the whole thing. Well, the band covered that song. So, yep. Hey, don't laugh. Radiohead took their name from a Talking Heads song too. Right? Their fast, primal sound. That's Husker Du, not Radiohead. It made them one of the first punk bands from the Midwest. And early punk bands, Black Flag and Dead Kennedys, helped to ease Husker Du into the new genre. And their first two albums were praised by critics, and college students adopted them through exposure on campus radio. Their Zen Arcade album was an attempt to go beyond punk and hardcore. It's a concept album about a boy who leaves home to find a place in a crappy world. Definitely not a punk sentiment at that time, which was 1983. It was called a thrash quadrophenia. SST didn't press enough albums to keep up with sales. Frustration. All they could do is try again. New Day Rising and Flip Your Wig were the result. They signed with Warner for the next LP, Candy Apple Gray. The contract gave Husker Du complete control over their music. What would the color Candy Apple Gray look like? Be like a kind of a light greenish tinge around the periphery, or color. Enter heroin. Hart was an addict. In 1988 was Husker Du's final tour. Bam. Just like that. Mould was a drinker. He was not able to continue. Norton got married. 3 guys, 3 directions. Then in 2005, Mould was touring with his band Sugar doing Husker Du songs. Silver Age was his breakthrough album. And Hart formed Nova Mob and did the same. Norton formed the band Gray Area and later became a chef. Mold and Hart reunited for a one-off benefit show for Soul Asylum bassist Carl Mueller, who had cancer. And then Hart died of liver cancer in 2017 at age 56. Husker Du claims DOA as a prime influence. Early in their career, they covered Don Evans' Sunshine Superman. Oh, not Don Evans. I meant to say Donovan. Don Evans. Wow. Yeah, I can't read my writing. But they also covered the Byrds' 8 Miles High. It's unlike any other punk bands. They did not tear down classic rock, but acknowledged it. This, plus their use of melody, set them apart as a genre-bashing entity. Nirvana bassist Chris Novoselic famously said that Nirvana's musical style was nothing new, that Husker Du did it before us. I don't know, unless I heard Chris was running for office in Washington. There were only 6 albums. And here they are. There's a studio LP called Metal Circus, and the first larger label LP was Everything Falls Apart in '83. This is jackhammer hardcore, screwball mosh-up, Sunshine Superman, not psychedelic, rather charmless. The Rorschach sleeve art is pretty cool. I don't know, I always liked that Rorschach thing, trying to figure out what it looked like. Usually it looks like some kind of anatomy because of the symmetry. And 2, Zen Arcade in '84. Don't expect too much. There's nothing earth-shaking here. I'm not seeing it. 3, New Day Rising in '85. And this really isn't my cup of tea either. Where is the alt? 4, Flip Your Wig in '85. This is kind of cool. Everything, and a singing drummer. Makes no sense at all. A song and a handlebar mustache and Mary Tyler Moore. The theme song from the Mary Tyler Moore show. I guess that makes sense, being from St. Paul, right across the river from Minneapolis. What is it? You're Gonna Make It After All. 5, Candy Apple Gray in '86. I don't want to know if you are lonely. Why? What harm would that knowledge do for you? You are probably saying that you don't want to think about it. Sorry somehow. Too far down. An Eiffel Tower high. I guess they had toured in Europe by then. 6. Warehouse, Songs and Stories in 87. These important years: Charity, Chastity, Prudence, Standing in the Rain, Back from Somewhere, Ice Cold Ice, and 14 more. At this point, I believe this is back in the early 80s, and Husker Du was still doing mostly punk, and yeah, people say they should have stayed that way. I believe I am one of those people that says that. Thanks for being with me. I'll be back very shortly with another band.